Remember when AI was supposed to kick off this massive white-collar purge, basically changing the way we work overnight? Well, looking at the actual data, the reality inside Fortune 500 boardrooms across the world right now is vastly different. Thousands of enterprise AI agents are actually being quietly shut down. And it's not necessarily because the technology doesn't work, but because of a looming, massive corporate infrastructure crisis. Big tech has placed a gargantuan bet on AI hardware and infrastructure. So in this explainer, we're going to dive into the mounting evidence that suggests this monumental gamble is colliding headfirst with some very harsh financial and legal realities.
Okay, let's start with a truly staggering number. $725 billion. That is the projected AI infrastructure spanned by big tech for the year 2026 alone. That figure has literally more than doubled in just 2 years. These companies are pouring everything they have into building out massive data centers and hoarding chips. And you know what the really wild part is? This is just the beginning of the gamble. Projections show this number climbing well into the trillions by 2030.
To put that kind of money into perspective, think about the U.S. interstate highway system. It took 35 years to build, it fundamentally changed the country, and it cost about $630 billion in today's money. Now compare that historic achievement to Goldman Sachs' current projection for AI. They estimate the total AI infrastructure bill between now and 2031 will exceed $7.6 trillion. I mean, for that kind of money, you'd expect an absolute world-altering revolution, right?
But the math here is terrifying for big tech. They are paying hundreds of billions for infrastructure, basically mortgaging their present to fund this massive build-out, while the actual global AI services market in 2025 generated only about $25 billion. Big tech is quite literally getting cents on the dollar for their investment. They're borrowing massively, issuing unprecedented amounts of corporate debt, all to fund a future that simply hasn't shown up on the balance sheet yet.
So what's standing in the way? Well, it starts with a massive liability time bond.
The legal panic really kicked off back in 2024. A grieving man asked an Air Canada chatbot if he could get a retroactive bereavement fare. The chatbot completely hallucinated a policy and confidently told him yes. When Air Canada refused the discount, he sued. The airline actually tried to argue that the chatbot was a separate legal entity, but tribunal member Christopher Rivers shut that down instantly, ruling that it makes absolutely no difference if the info comes from a static page or a chatbot. It set a terrifying precedent. Whatever a chatbot invents, the company is 100% liable for. If it's your bot, you are the machine.
The moment that liability became crystal clear, the insurance industry reacted, and they speed ran the typical insurance cycle. What started as just invisible, assumed coverage in 2024 quickly morphed into tightened language in 2025, and by January 2026, total generative AI exclusions. New rules meant if generative AI causes the damage, you aren't covered. Insurers just completely excluded claims tied to AI-generated text, images, and code from the standard policies that cover 82% of U.S. businesses. Almost overnight, the risk became utterly uninsurable.
Which leads us directly into what data providers are now calling the corporate AI graveyard. The data from S&P Global paints an incredibly stark picture. Nearly half, about 46% of all enterprise AI proof of concepts, are completely scrapped before ever reaching production. On average, teams are spending 8 months of engineering hours and heavy infrastructure costs for essentially a coin flip chance of shipping anything. When you multiply that $5 to $20 million cost per project across thousands of Fortune 500 initiatives, you are looking at tens of billions of dollars just buried in wasted engineering.
Take a look at these legal cases. Varghese versus China Southern Airlines, Martinez versus Delta Airlines. They sound real, right? Well, they're entirely fake. They were cited in a real federal court filing in the Mata versus Avianca case because the lawyers used ChatGPT for their research and the AI just invented these cases with absolute confidence. And honestly, this is not an isolated incident. Surveys show nearly half of enterprise users admit to making major business decisions based on content their AI simply hallucinated. Trusting these systems is resulting in massive legal sanctions and very public humiliation.
And here's why that keeps happening. The hallucination rate across 37 of the best models money can buy in 2026 sits between 15 and 52%. Even the single most reliable model out there gets things wrong about 1 time in 7. OpenAI researchers themselves prove these hallucinations are mathematically inevitable, because the exact same predictive mechanism that makes them useful is what makes them lie. So the AI your company deployed is confidently wrong about 1 in 5 times. Think about it. A human employee with that track record wouldn't even survive their first week.
And all of this enterprise failure directly feeds into our next major problem, the hardware market crash.
Let's look at the rapid collapse in the value of the NVIDIA H100. This is the foundational chip of the entire AI arms race. At the peak of the hype in summer 2023, you were paying up to 50 grand to buy one, or $10 an hour just to rent it. Startups were treating them like gold. But fast forward to June 2025, driven by a massive AWS price cut of 45% overnight, a huge secondary market fire sale began. Today, you can rent that exact same chip for $2 an hour, and its purchase value has basically been cut in half.
A major catalyst for this whole hardware collapse was actually a Chinese startup called DeepSeek. They managed to build an AI model highly competitive with GPT-4 using lower-end chips on a budget of under $6 million. I mean, that is what big tech spends on office catering. This tiny budget completely shattered the core industry argument that compute is scarce and that whoever controls the most expensive compute automatically wins. When the market finally realized this, it wiped out roughly $590 billion of NVIDIA's market cap in a single historic day.
What we're witnessing here is a massive historical parallel. Back in the late 1990s, telecom companies invested over $500 billion in dark fiber, expecting this endless surge in internet traffic. The physical asset was real, but the business model built on top of it was not, and the revenue just didn't show up. The current GPU fire sale is exactly that. It's the fiber glut of 2025. The data center infrastructure is absolutely real, but the massive consumer revenue needed to support it just hasn't materialized.
So, how are companies adapting? We're seeing a massive, quiet shift towards risk management.
Notice the stark conversational gap between 2023 and 2026. Back in 2023, every single press release was shouting about generative AI with these science fiction promises of replacing entire corporate departments. Now, in 2026, the language has completely shifted to buzzwords like agentic workflows and outcome-focused workflows. The AI revolution essentially traded its sci-fi dreams for dull, highly specific middle management tasks, like routing customer service tickets or scanning contracts. You know, tasks where if the AI messes up, a human can still catch it before it gets expensive.
You can actually see this defensive shift directly in corporate org charts. The presence of a chief AI officer jumped from being in just 26% of organizations to a whopping 76% in just 1 year. But here's the catch. They aren't hiring evangelists anymore. With the EU AI Act kicking in fully in August 2026, companies are now legally required to identify exactly who is accountable when their AI causes harm. So the chief AI officer role has shifted from being a visionary to basically serving as a regulatory compliance scapegoat.
And this massive infrastructure squeeze is affecting even the absolute titans of the industry. In late 2024, Microsoft promised its shareholders a massive $60 billion stock buyback. But a whole year later, $57.3 billion of that promise just sat completely untouched. Why? Because every single spare dollar was getting sucked straight into paying for servers, data centers, and AI infrastructure. They wrote the check to their investors, but literally couldn't afford to cash it because the AI build-out is bleeding their free cash flow dry.
But hold on, if enterprise AI is struggling this much, who on earth is actually making money from all this compute?
Let me give you a number, $10.1 billion. That is just the net trading revenue in Q2 2025 alone for a quantitative trading firm called Jane Street. While the Fortune 500 is busy canceling its uninsurable chatbots, quant firms like Jane Street, Citadel, and Hudson River Trading are handling massive equity volume and pulling in tens of billions of dollars. By any metric, they represent the most profitable AI operations on Earth right now.
And the reason these quant firms succeed where enterprise chatbots completely fail is because they operate with a brutally honest referee. Quants execute trades in microseconds using incredibly clean data. In their world, a hallucination isn't some awkward PR disaster 3 months down the line. It is an instant, highly measurable financial loss that triggers immediate retraining. The system improves rapidly because it simply cannot afford not to. Meanwhile, as massive companies struggle to pay their soaring data center utility bills, the hardware itself is actually shrinking. NVIDIA recently released the DGX Spark. It's a desktop computer that costs just $4,700. It literally sits right next to your monitor and runs models that, just 2 years ago, would have required an entire, heavily air-conditioned server room. Having this level of compute sitting right on a desk is a massive paradigm shift that bypasses the mega data center entirely.
And that brings us to a quote that perfectly captures this whole crisis. Intelligence is getting cheaper faster than the infrastructure built to sell it can depreciate. This echoes a dire warning from legendary investor Michael Burry. He pointed out a massive, understated depreciation crisis facing these hyperscalers, estimating roughly $176 billion in understated depreciation through 2028. They are writing off these expensive chips over 5 to 6 years, but their actual economic life is closer to 2 or 3. As those Chinese labs proved, intelligence is just getting too cheap, too fast for this infrastructure to ever be paid off.
Which leaves us with this final, absolutely critical question. Will the demand for these massive billion-dollar data centers actually hold up now that the AI bubble is meeting financial reality? Roughly half of all U.S. data centers planned for 2026 are already facing delays or outright cancellations. As the gap between utopian science fiction projections and cold hard financial reality becomes impossible to ignore, we really have to wonder, who is ultimately going to pay the bill for big tech's $725 billion bet? It's a fascinating, highly precarious situation, and definitely one we'll be watching very closely.